We're now with Emma Richardson, artist and bass player with Pixies, Southampton artist. Emma, welcome to Voice FM and congratulations on your exhibition in the refurbished art gallery. How are you feeling?
Thank you so much, Stan. Great to see you again. I'm quite overwhelmed actually. This is quite a moment for me. Returning home to my hometown and opening my first ever museum solo show in the city called Levitate Me, Desire, Ecstasy and the Sublime. Yeah, thrilled.
That's a great title. And apt in a way, because when Vasconcellos were releasing albums, your artwork was on the front.
Yes.
And it did all those things to me. I mean, it must have had a fantastic energy to the artwork. Are we going to see something similar when we turn a quick right here?
Yes, it's a whole new body of work. Mm-hmm. So there's three main themes that run through the gallery space, which you'll be able to see, hopefully, if we walk through soon.
We'll walk through soon, yes.
But yeah, I deal with the works of quite visceral oil paint on canvas, quite a large scale, and dealing with themes of desire and female sexuality, and also ideas of transcendence and ecstatic experience from my experience of playing live for so long in live bands. And also I'm looking at ideas of the contemporary sublime, so looking at the landscape and our changing, shifting connection with the natural world. So yeah.
Fantastic. Well, you're looking great.
Thank you very much.
It's actually 15 years since we've met.
Yes.
And I think you look younger. It's really weird. But
well, I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, you should do. Yeah. But let's turn a quick right. So after you, you can guide us into this exhibition. Where are we going to go?
So we're here in the kind of introduction to the show. In the first room, and it's just a kind of small overview of what's to come. So there's three pieces which show the three themes and a little text about the whole exhibition. Okay,
let's have a little close-up. So we've got desire, ecstasy and sublime, and I am going to guess that this one here is desire.
Yes, so this work looks maybe the kind of more it's called the stumble and fumble. So it's those kind of early years of figuring out our ways as sexual beings, and sometimes it's not always that straightforward. So it's this beginning of thinking about ideas of desire and sexuality, and then it will lead through into this first room, which will.
Well, we can see because there's more and more. And it's beautifully dark in here. This is fantastic. Wow, look at this. And is this all your work?
So I've got a lot of large-scale new oil paintings, and they're hung alongside pieces that I've personally chosen from the collection at Southampton City Art Gallery, pieces that I've been fond of for a long, long time after coming here for my whole life.
Yes.
And so it's a real honour to pick some of these key works. I mean, we've got, there's a piece by Ithell Colquhoun over here, which was actually recently shown at Tate Modern with her solo sort of retrospective exhibition. So it's a real honour to have this hanging in this room alongside my paintings.
It was going to be a question, like when you first came here, as presumably as a child, what was the art that inspired you, and were you already an artist, or was it seeing this art that made you go in that direction?
It was. I mean, I studied art at school, and then I went to Barton Preval College in Eastleigh, and we were sort of pushed to go and see art and check out galleries, and obviously Southampton, in my hometown, this is such an incredible space, and they always had a real incredible programme of exhibitions, and their collection's just phenomenal. So to come here and see, there was a lot of young British artists, the YBAs at the time, and we were sort of looking at their work at college, and then to come and see kind of, the Chrysophilia in the flesh, or Fiona Ray's painting, or Martin Creed. He had that sort of room of white balloons, and it felt quite exciting because you were so connected to what was happening at the time and what was going on. And it's just, you discover something new each time when you come here, and there's always a little gem that you haven't seen before. So, yeah.
Yes, I want to talk about in a moment how to look at a painting okay, because I want to come and look at the one behind you there.
This one here.
If we do one of somebody else, someone you've chosen, and then
Okay.
and then your particular artwork. This is big. I mean, this is a large canvas. But did it start as a sketch, a small sketch in front of you?
Do you know what, this one, it was a bit of a wrestle, this painting. It started out, I wanted it to be kind of this mass hanging in an almost kind of ethereal space. And when I start out with an idea for a painting, it always ends up turning into something completely different because the painting has its own way and you've got to let it speak. But this painting is called Pouring Forth, and it ended up being about this kind of feeling of freedom and release and being comfortable in your own skin and not caring who kind of looks at you or judges you, a kind of letting go of pent-up energy and tension, and it has a kind of lightness and a freeness compared to some of the other works. But no, I'm happy it's kind of it ended up looking this way rather than the vision I had for it initially. It surprised me. So.
Well, and it's different from what I would consider your normal style because it's got a lot of pastels in there.
Right. Yes.
And normally you're much brighter, more attacking the senses.
Mm-hmm.
This seems a bit more thoughtful. Is that fair?
Yeah, it feels more subtle, and I think I quite liked this shift, and I love how colour can really change your kind of mood or the atmosphere of a painting with the tones. You can play with this idea. So, yeah, it was a slight departure for sure. But sometimes painting, when you kind of it takes you off in a different tangent, and sometimes new works end up kind of forming from this idea later down the road. So maybe this is a path which I might take, or maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? It surprised me, and hopefully it will. It will lead to discussions with people, and people can have a conversation about it,
yes.
in their own way.
I'm pointing over that direction.
This one.
It's round.
It is.
Okay, I know that's not the point. Okay, but as a different direction, round is a different direction,
yes,
isn't it?
It is. Well, this is a work by Helen Chadwick. It's called Wreath to Pleasure, and she was famous for using quite a lot of different materials, and she has this brilliant ability to play with sort of sensuality and seductive materials, using them right next to maybe things which are a little more sort of either repulsive or like household items. So this is actually this like beautiful pink petals, rose petals, surrounded by germaline kind of smeared around them, the edge. And so this kind of draws you in, but also sort of it's slightly, ooh, what's this gooey stuff, around it.
You like extremes, don't you? Yeah.
I do. I think that they play off each other. I like this idea of having something slightly jarring or a little off note in a painting that makes you kind of, ooh, what's that? Or it lures you in, and it makes it a bit more exciting, I think, for sure. Yeah.
Give us another one of yours. Which one would you guide the viewer to?
Okay, let me think. How about let's do this one over here. It's a bit darker.
Yes. Wow.
So we could do another one in this room, or would you like to go through to the next room? Or
well, seeing as we're here,
let's do
just
this
a quick
one.
glimpse,
Okay.
and then we'll wander into the next room.
So this painting is called In a Critic at 3 a.m. And I don't know about you, but I have an inner voice that's usually sort of telling me awful things about myself, when you least want it to. So this painting was made to kind of confront this sort of slightly more vulnerable side of your inner psyche and almost kind of claim the power back a little bit from it. So this is, it's a slightly humorous kind of take on maybe something that's a serious subject, and it has, maybe drawing attention to the darker depths of the psyche, and sometimes you can get in your own head and feel a little bit overwhelmed, and maybe recognizing that voice that you have. You can control it, and you can command it, and it doesn't have control over you. So that's the sort of message with this piece. Yeah.
I'll do a quick a quick cutaway. Did you choose this as well?
I did, yes. All the works from the collection I've chosen, yeah.
Just quickly on this statue that's here, because it's a lovely piece. I'm not really into sculpture. I presume this is sculpture.
This is sculpture, yes. This is Auguste Rodin.
And why did you pick this one?
I picked this one. I mean, it's so physical, isn't it? It's got a real physicality. It shows Eve in a position of kind of vulnerability and possibly shame. I've been coming to the gallery for a long time, and this always really resonated with me. It kind of had a real emotional pull, and it feels like it connects with some of the ideas that are in this room about shame and anxiety and vulnerability, and to have a sculptural piece next to these paintings. And you'll see as we go through, there's another sculpture which really speaks to this one. But it felt like it was quite apt to have. And also, I'm a huge fan of Auguste Rodin sculpture, so there is actually 2 pieces of his work in this exhibition.
Quickly zoom over here.
Yes, Crouching Woman over here.
It's amazing how he's able to get the same kind of emotions into a large piece and a small piece.
Yes.
I can imagine. It's amazing. That's wonderful. Good choice. You're really here to open people's minds, aren't you?
Well, I hope it creates a dialogue and people can have discussions and think about what these themes mean to them. Yeah, absolutely.
This is a nice dark room. I've got a funny feeling it's a little bit brighter in the other room, yes?
It is. So I wanted to start with this kind of more of a personal feel and kind of quite a warm kind of womb-like space in a sense. And then we walk through here into this next room.
Wow.
Which is called the Ecstatic Expanse.
Yeah.
And this room, it explores ideas of our need as humans to find, escape the everyday and find feelings of kind of ecstatic release and transcendence. And there's many ways humans have been doing this through history, and drawing from my own personal experience of being a musician, over the past 20 years I've been able to play live in front of lots of people, and witnessing crowds gather and the electricity in the room of that moment, especially when everyone is having a great time, it's something quite unlike it. It's almost spiritual. There is a kind of energy and excitement and an adrenaline in the room. And it's an incredible way to sort of witness human connection, and there's a joy to it and a real, I think it's very necessary in this day and age to keep hold of that and have that as an experience. So this is where the idea started, and I've been interested in this idea for a long time, and I've been able to look into it and research it and look at all the other ways people do this, like dancing or psychedelics or being in spiritual buildings or religion. So this room really opens up into this light, airy space, which it contains work which look at all these themes. So let's have a look round.
Yes, definitely. Where would you like to take me?
So this painting,
look at that.
It's called I Slip My Body Completely, and it's quite a departure. It's quite a departure from a lot of my work. I wanted to use a slightly different colour palette and really open up the space of the canvas, and to really convey this idea of this kind of almost fizzing energy within the body and how this might look, and almost kind of the consciousness lifting out of the body in its own way somehow. I'm a big fan of Stanley Kubrick films, and I went to the cinema. I saw 2001: A Space Odyssey in like 70mm at the cinema, and I hadn't seen it for a long time. There's this incredible scene, the Stargate scene, when they're kind of time traveling through these kind of flashing coloured lights, and it really stuck with me. And I think I sort of subconsciously kind of it seeped in and it came out maybe in this painting because there was something about that scene that kind of I was so enraptured by, and it really stuck with me. So maybe there's a little nod to that kind of almost sort of time travelling slippage. Yeah.
I think that's I think you well could have, and it's an iconic scene, and definitely to see it in the 70mm on the big screen. I mean, yes. I've only seen it on the telly, so. That would be something
quite
else.
Something.
Yes, and give us another example of something that you've taken from the gallery, not taken, but chosen from the gallery.
There is this other sculpture actually we can look at, which talks to Eve in the other room. It's a good companion piece. This was actually made by a female sculptor called Josefina de Vasconcellos. It's made out of stone, and it shows a woman sort of almost in an ecstatic state, or in sort of wrapped up in nature with these leaves kind of trailing up her spine and sort of holding her neck. But it felt like it fitted so well with the theme of this room, the ecstatic expanse, and this kind of freedom in the pose.
Yes. No, it's lovely, and we can almost just about see the other image over
Eve
there.
through the doorway there. Yeah.
We're now in Sublime Worlds, which is the third room of Emma Richardson's fantastic display. And Emma, I've got a question for you that's not about art but about music, which is how I know you from, of course, Band of Skulls, which started in Southampton. But also the fact that you now ended up in Pixies, which is an iconic American rock band. And was that a path that you thought might happen to you? Or was it something that just seemed natural, or was it just a massive surprise?
It came right out of the blue, I must say. It was a big surprise. I'd left Band of Skulls to pursue a full-time career in painting and really focus on that full-time. And so a few years into doing this, I ended up getting a phone call, and they were looking for somebody, and of course I said yes. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Pixies, and to be asked to come and play with them and to step into that role, which, I mean, I'm a big fan of the other bass players that have played in that band, was an incredible honour. So to be able to be playing with them now, it's pretty much a dream come true. It's incredible. And to be on the road again and be out there.
I mean, it's reasonably good bass lines within the songs. Was there a particular one that you really were looking forward to playing?
That I was looking forward to?
What you were looking forward to playing, yes.
There's so many good songs. I mean, if you're a fan of the Pixies, you know their back catalogue is extensive and fantastic and exciting, and all. I mean, it was great to go through that back catalogue and pick apart all of their songs while I was learning them, and you realise how clever they are and how brilliant they are at writing. And I think there was a couple of tracks, obviously, that, you know, I mean, Where Is My Mind is such a classic song. Here Comes Your Man and Debaser, the kind of intro riff. I mean, it's quite something to be able to be playing that.
One of which, presumably, when you start, the audience is already there with you. It's like they're going,
people know the songs, people know them well, so you know, it's extra pressure. You've got to, you know, make sure you don't mess it up, you know. Yeah.
Well, let's end with a photo, not a photo, let's end with your final picture. Although there's so many here, this one is really striking, and this makes me feel like I'm just about to enter hell or heaven, dark angels, I don't know. What are we talking about here?
So this painting is called A Quickening, and this room deals with the idea of the contemporary sublime and our shifting relationship with nature and the natural world, and maybe bringing the attention to the anxieties of the times at the moment. And there's this kind of underlying dread, you know, we're existing in our everyday life and we're kind of carrying on with day-to-day tasks, but then also there is this kind of undercurrent of things which aren't quite so, that sort of uneasiness. So some of these works look at the beauty of nature and the kind of how we are connected to it, but then also there is this underlying sort of anxiety and fear maybe for what's to come.
Well, I think for me, as always, looking at your art is a wonderful thing, and I've always loved the album covers you did with Band of Skulls, and this is a fantastic continuation of what you've achieved. So congratulations on this collection, and of course everyone should come down and see it, shouldn't they?
They should indeed. It's open for about 4 or 5 months over the summer as well, so come down and check it out.
Brilliant. Well, Emma Richardson, Southampton artist and also bass player with Pixies, thank you very much for talking with us.
Thank you so much, Sam.
Voice. Let's go. Voice FM.